Yeah. Live. Don't know. Right? What's it? Greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose. Greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose. Aye, me hear the man fall when him catch a rose. Aye, me hear the man scream, strong in a sorrow. Never want to take one in bout the road from Miss Larrow. The way the boy bought could have back up thing a fist sparrow. The road got he contigo, que with yo, Talawala, Mala de Hombre, Sassy Prilla, so summa pizza, bed and ginger, a lost scrabble, fight back and bitter wood, serasi, and just a touch of sea, main ingredient, and the one Miss Larrow invent. See a man back bench, he just left Miss Larrow tent. Greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose, greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose, greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose, greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose. He catch a boy to play with himself back up a tail. He said he could hear voices coming from hell. One of his seller, he snatched up the girl named Gretel. So he ended up that jail cell with the big boy lying in the bell. The roots got he contigo, big way yo. Talawala, Mala de Hombre, Sassy Prilla, so summa pizza, bed and ginger, a low scrabble, pipe back and bitter wood, serosy, and a little bit of cena with the main ingredient, and the one Miss Larrow invent. See a man back bench, he just left Miss Larrow tent. Greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose, greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the man got greedy the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the greedy the rose.
Source from the Pharaoh, I do this for my kings, rocking kingdom apparel. Source from a Pharaoh, I do this for my queens, rocking kingdom apparel. Source from the Pharaoh, I do this for my kings, rocking kingdom apparel. Source from the Pharaoh, I do this for my queens, rocking kingdom apparel.
Don't need to recount the votes, I'm here to destroy all your hopes, dreams, aspiration. It's like poetry.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Greetings in the name of all that is good and gracious. I am G. Michael Reid, coming to you once again from Belize. It is 7 o'clock in Belize City. We know 8 o'clock in New York and 5 o'clock in Los Angeles. We are here once again with our weekly podcast. We invite you to join in and stay with us if you like it. Hit the like button. You can subscribe. We're with you every week, dealing with the pertinent issues, the issues that are trending. We have no sacred cow, no axe to grind, no scapegoats, or agendas of any kind, neither personal, spiritual, political, no whatsoever. We look at things from a fair, unbiased perspective. If you're with us during the show, we invite you to join in if you have comments, if you want to offer any input into what the discussion that we're having. We welcome that every time. As you see the flyer leading us into this, we're having a moving night in the park. Call it moving night. This is sponsored by the Honorable Devin Daly, who is the area representative and the Minister of State in what ministry? I forget. And right now, we don't know what's going on because there's been some recent shakeups, moving here and there. Ministers are not happy with the portfolios they have. The portfolios are not happy with the ministers they have. I don't know where they're going, actually, people. One minister resigned from cabinet. Another one decided he didn't want that specific ministry that he was being handed. The Prime Minister tries to hold things together. At the end of the day, they have a country to govern. As a people, we have to do what we can to ensure that everybody does what they're supposed to do. Uh, no sticky fingers, and it's hard to do with politicians because everybody want. And folks, you know, I was thinking the other day, the amount of money these people make. They make like upwards over $100,000 a year. Now, you know, you put that aside, what the regular person makes out there, parallel that with $5 an hour, and sometimes less, because only now they raise that to five. That's the minimum wage in Belize, $5 Belize, which is equivalent to 250 US dollars. There are people over there in the States making $18, $19 an hour on the low end. Some are making $30, $40 on a US money you're talking about. So these people make all that money and still can't keep their hands clean. What exactly is it? Is it greed? Is it that you just can't, your cup can't get full, you know, can't get enough? What it most and the perks and packages that come with these positions, people, they're like free vehicle, free gas, free food, everything you need, free health care, free travel expenses. The money goes straight to the bank and sit down there till they're ready for waste it for some person that has nothing to do with the running of the country. So we're going to really have to keep our eye on this matter. What we need to do more than anything else to hold them accountable, make sure they do what they're supposed to do. And as I speak, I see on the screen the representative of the white race, J.A. Spooner. Morgana Spooners.
Hi, boy.
Hi, boy. That's a, yeah, man.
I'm having trouble tonight with my internet. It's terrible. Yeah.
How is that? Why we had a blackout earlier? I was afraid
Yes.
we might not even make it on. I don't know if you guys had a blackout
Sure.
like we did. But
Okay.
you all
You
right?
know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have to go upstairs and reboot my
Wait,
I
wait,
forget how
wait.
you call it now. I have to
Answer
reboot
to
it
Jeremy.
upstairs
You have
maybe.
to make sure
So,
that
okay.
you hear me. Make sure that you're close enough to the internet, to the box. We'll call it thing. We'll call it the you know what you use to But God reboot. Go ahead and come back, man, and wait for you.
All right, I'll come back. I'll go reboot.
All right, you can't left your face up on the screen. Now. We can't take that like that so long. No. But anyway, people, yeah, man, I was saying that the whole corruption, and you know, what's gonna have to happen is that we'll have to be more careful in the people we elect to govern us. That $50 can't work because when that done, they're in there doing what they want to, and there's nothing you can see because you've been bought and paid off. So we have to stop the take money from these politicians. Have to stop kisses for favor, man. Everybody has to be treated fairly, and the least sacrifice you make by not getting that special attention to your problem is gonna make it much better for everybody else and we can hold them accountable then and tell them, listen, you have to do what you're elected to do. You can't do what you want. You can't just fill your own pockets, man. We have to make sure that you're competent, capable. And many times we vote for people we like. Uh, we might, some people, we got one disagreement and then the animosity lasts for lifetime. You don't one. I know people who agree with on one, disagree with on one issue, and after that, they figure out what's person you can't talk to me because you never agree with me on that one issue. it would be fine for us to all hold hands together, sing kumbaya, and skip down the street. Ain't gonna happen. No, sir. I am not gonna just go along with anything gonna tell me and just ride within the program and bring swallow any narrative and push my way. That is why God gives us a sense of reasoning. We can rationalize. We can look at things and figure it out. Even the Bible, I do not believe that you just grab and hold as gospel, because God has given us the power to analyze, to make sure that when we hold truth, hold fast onto whatever truth we have, that we have substantial evidence to support what they're giving us. We expect that Joker will chime in at some point. There's a lot we have to talk about tonight, a lot that's going on in government, because if I'll catch this mosquito, so you know about me later. One mosquito, and at the end of the day, they're not as bad as they have been. But boy, all you need are one senior years you ever to try sleep, and that one mosquito in the room which just won't stop bother you. How much time you have to beat your hand against your head side and rarely catch it, you know. But just you have to satisfy yourself that you're giving an effort. You know what I mean? The carnage continues on our roadways. The motorcycle accidents. Who one over the weekend? Man crashing, one motorcycle crashing into the next. I believe two of them died. Lots of domestic violence issues going on. I don't know if they just report it more. I don't think so. But there seems to be an increase in the number of women in particular that have been assaulted and even killed. There's one story this week about a girl who supposedly threw gasoline on herself. Um, no, but the story are two way. One that the boyfriend threw the gasoline pan her. Then I was hearing a talk on the street that this girl threw the gasoline pan herself because she me don't tell the boy he ain't do that and tell the police that I didn't show it pan her. That I don't know people, like I was telling the individual relaying that story to me, that has to be investigated thoroughly. I don't know. That one is some unbelievable. I don't see this person, an eligible lady, and I said that's 61 years old. I don't see that. And the young man, substantially younger, I think about 45 or something like that. But the young lady was burnt badly, survived a few days, and then died. So the guy's being held. Well, apparently they agreed the charge to murder, but there's a strong rumor out there that there's more to it than that. The whole domestic issue, folks, will have to be looked at carefully. This hurry for run for marriage without really know who you hook up with, and then by the time you don't find out who it is and who that person really is, it's too late. And a lot of times we're so narcissistic that none of us will take the blame. We cannot be convinced that it's our fault, even when it is. There are times when it's our fault. I will tell you there are many situations I've been in where I know it's my fault, and the best you can do is, boy, well, I not make this happen again like this the same way. If there was any harm done to another person, be big enough to um, apologize and try to make amends. It's difficult at times because many people are headstrong and they will hold on to grievances. But if you have done the best you can, then even the angels can't do any better. So we have to do that. There's a unfortunate incident I was looking at in the news, international news. Miss Universe fell off the stage. Apparently not badly hurt, but badly embarrassed, man. The whole country of Jamaica. And I see one of the Jamaican guys, you know them, make fun of everything. I was saying that God tell me what we do. You make Hurricane last week, now you make Miss Universe drop off of the stage. What more you gonna do to it? Um, I don't know. Obia, bad luck. I don't know what you think. But very unfortunate incident. And our Miss Belize, by the way, is doing well. We've seen her on the runway and doing her walk and the swimsuit thing. Baby shining, really shining. And that's not an easy thing, though, to become a Miss Universe. I don't know, in fact, if they're really, it's all fair play. The way things are set these days, you don't know for sure. We would hope that it is fair and that she has a shot, that she could be considered. She's, I mean, booming with exuberance. She's a beautiful lady. She has that confidence, that wonderful smile. She has all the qualities, all the ingredients are there. And just will come together, and hopefully the judges will look at it and see the same thing we're seeing and say, please, give Belize a break. Make we take a moment in the sun and shine. They We have a situation coming up in the park on Sunday. It's a private affair, but I think it should have been bigger. And I was trying to reach some people to see how I could get help to make it bigger. Boxing legend David Dacus and Bilal Morris wrote up a nice piece. He had done it years before, and he just republished it. No, excellent read. But David Dacus was one of the champions of Belize's early days of boxing when it was really happening. I remember going to the old Edwards Park and watching a number of fights. Bird's Eye, of course, booming. That wasn't just for political meetings, as I know the UDP just had their convention over there. They have it yet? Or I'm in following. What I find interesting, and one of the names running for the chairmanship of that party would be no other than John Saldiva. I can't see how a man with so much on his record, on his sheet, so soiled, would dare to even present yourself as in that for that position. But listen, I know in other people business, no, that the UDPs will do what they want to do. My advice would be though, if you want to be taken seriously, you really need fresh blood. You need people that are not tarnished by the happenings that we've seen, in particular over the past administration. The PUP now certainly have their own problems, serious issues. One minister resigned, Jose Mai, and Jules seemed to have a different story than the prime minister. Because Jules is saying, hey, look like somebody pop up. Who that Joe?
Yeah, I mean,
Same one, no? Same one. Greetings, Joe. How to go?
well, I know the problem, I changed location, so.
But you look better. I don't know where you're going. Better camera on, better. By the way, I get a new camera. You see anything different? Is it any?
No, I think that we're part of them. I them on different part of the country.
Oh, no Placencia.
They don't fly south.
Placencia.
Yes.
Well, they're second home, man. I don't know if you know more native to Placencia than I know.
That's right.
But beautiful area of the country. How is the tourism down there? They said the government shut down the America, and they affect tourism in Belize.
Well, we might not know that yet because it's in November. We begin to see the increase, and we are seeing it already.
At the end of the hurricane season, correct?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some people claim because of after the Thanksgiving. I don't know if it's any truth to that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, some of them travel for Thanksgiving, no?
Right.
And
I think it has to do with the weather.
Thanksgiving is next week, right?
That's right. So I think, yeah, I think it has to do more with the weather, really.
So we are scheduled for Thursday, which is Thanksgiving is Thursday in the US. I have to talk to CY and see where we end up on that day, because that is a big celebration in the United States of America.
What day is Thanksgiving again?
Third is the last Thursday in November.
Oh,
So
okay.
next week is the last Thursday in November.
It'll
We
be the
have in our
27th.
we're having our movie night in the park on the 29th. So that'll be the Saturday after that. The Thanksgiving, though, like I said, is so big in the US. I don't know if we're going to get, I mean, it's big. I have always said that I think we should celebrate Thanksgiving in Belize. In particular, not to piggyback on America, what they're doing, but we have our own reasons to be thankful. In particular, a year like this when Jamaica get mashed up and we were once again spared. We every year, any given year, we could get a serious hit from a hurricane. You know that.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense because the season ends in November.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to thank the Lord indeed for sparing us, although we hit our brothers in the Caribbean countries, but nevertheless,
I know. Yeah,
a lot of things we should be thankful for, man.
I think so. I think giving thanks is never a bad thing.
Oh, evident, obviously not.
You know, so you appreciate the fact that we escaped, that we didn't see any major storms passing through, and again, like I said, that by the grace of God, because we don't got no control over that, where it happened and when it happened. No?
Right.
Jamaica, of course, took a massive hit, and they're still trying to recover. I saw Buju Bantan the reel up on Buju Bantan the reel up on Facebook, because apparently people have been sending supplies for the hurricane victims, and the people and the thief it out of the box before you even get through customs. So that was a shameful situation, no?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good for them for sure. I mean, in times of crisis,
this is a way to say, put the thief in aside, man. You know.
Yes, man.
You know,
yes.
you must go consider, instead of try take what you could, you should try get something. In particular, I got people like that have jobs. They must go find somebody who can help out, as opposed to try take away from who other people try help. It make them look bad, man. Make the country look bad, you know. So
exactly. Well, it doesn't look.
Yeah. Let us wish them well and see what happened there. Bringing it home, though, Joe. Where they go on your party? Because got one Lee upheaval go on there. Jules will say one thing, Janet will say the next thing. Who will for believe?
I don't know if maybe the answer to this should be what they are saying in the case of the US. So there's one thing that we learn from this period of the Trump misadministration is how not to handle a crisis. And I would wish indeed that what he's saying as the prime minister turns out to be true. I prefer that to be so.
You mean that the boy tumbled off of the house and broke it back?
Yes.
Hurt your back.
I say I would prefer that is the truth. Rather than
well, you would hope that anything politicians tell us are the truth. But
well,
I mean, but
in this case, it's the prime minister, no?
I know, but that's a hope for
a more different way.
That's like hoping for a victory of hope over experience, because experience has shown us that they can't always count on their word. Go ahead.
No, I personally know the gentleman, and I was with him for the years when he was aspiring. I Used to meet with him quite often when I go to Arizona. And I must say that he had a passion for agriculture. That's what he studied.
Mhm.
And I would say that he was doing a very good job. He was one of the ministers that I would give a lot of credit to. And it's really unfortunate now if he had tarnished himself as they accused him of now. Because he was a good minister in terms of his performance. He did a lot for agriculture. He did.
Welcome back, Spooner. You still
Hey.
can't talk?
Change your hair to or what?
It change all kind of thing. It change the camera, it change the computer, it change the internet box.
I hope you not change your ways, though.
I hope it change the clothes.
But about the best thing he really got, his nice ways.
Where you get that from? You know you the same guy you talk about? We don't know the same person, man. It's that boy. Jeremy, what's going on? Try say something. The money gone back out. Yeah. No, yeah, Joe, but the so you say you know Mai and you know him to be straightforward and
But I'm talking about his performance as a minister in the area that he is in agriculture. I know he had a passion for it. That's what he studied. He enjoyed agriculture. And I've been following up on him. He did a lot in the agro-industry areas. He did a lot in promoting cattle. He did a lot in promoting beans right across the spectrum. So in that area, I think he did well. And that's what I'm saying, you know, for one to know if it is so, to really tarnish your character after you have been doing so good as a minister.
Again, Joe, well, we basically got Jules' word and the Prime Minister's word. Jules, if he just jumped the gun with some information we hear, and that it turns out to not be true, and that what the Prime Minister is saying true, that will be egg on his face. Because he basically said he had a good facts that Johnny was called into the U.S. Embassy and pressured into getting Mai out of the cabinet. So, and you can't two things can be right, but then two they can't be right at the same time.
What I find is that if you look at the explanation the Prime Minister is giving, it doesn't resonate in the sense that it doesn't follow the patterns of when somebody, in this case, he fell off a horse, if that is what he did, and he suffered a bad back. But when did this really happen? Why are you waiting so long? Why is it at this time?
There are more questions than answers, Joe.
Yeah, why go to Guatemala when normally we go to North when we are towards those Mexican areas?
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's a lot of things that doesn't come over well, quite frankly.
The maths ain't matting.
No.
Let's put it that way. Jeremy, are you back?
Yeah, I think so. I had to come upstairs into my storage room where the router is, and click in there. So I hopefully it will work. No, because I live downstairs, and downstairs sometimes the connection doesn't get down there. No.
When you're in the West Wing, you don't get it as good.
Yes, yeah. Well, my father knocked down the East Wing, and he's building some kind of ballroom.
Oh yeah. That's a goal in there too.
Yeah, I can't go in there right now, no. But you're talking about the Facebook chatter is that nobody's believing the Prime Minister at all. Nobody is actually believing. I saw the same report that you saw, but I think it was on beef. Jules Vasquez on Monday broke it. Was it there? He broke it.
Yes.
But the Prime Minister is saying something totally different. You know.
Right. Well, what got to me, and in a dramatic way, that he posted a picture with he and Mai in a chair with two crutches beside him. I just that one that kind of like it was too funny because I gotta really prove to me that this man's sick. That no prove nothing. Where you could have do that post one doctor note, saying the man, boy, these injuries are serious, you need some attention, and you might be down a few. That would work. And I'm sure they had that because he said the man saw the doctor.
Yeah, but this is a serious issue, and it's not, politics shouldn't be played with this issue. I'm very concerned from way back when I've heard that the Mexican cartel has infiltrated the free zone. And then you're hearing the violence lately. I'm really worried that the cartel is, I don't know if they have already, if they get a foothold into Belize. And then once that happens, none of us can talk. You know,
let's invite Greg to the discussion. Good evening, Mr. Morrison.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Greg.
Good to see you again.
Good evening, Jose. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, Lawrence Food.
We're discussing the situation with Minister Mai, who has resigned from the cabinet.
Yes.
And no matter who do you believe in this one, Greg?
I think it seems kind of obvious that there's a lot of lying going on.
Something does seem right, sure.
Yeah. But you know, the funny thing is the picture of I thought that was just something an AI generated with the Prime Minister posing with Mr. Mai in a wheelchair. I didn't think that was a real photo, and with Mr. Mai with crutches. I thought those were all AI fake generated pictures. I'll be surprised to learn that they're indeed actual photographs.
But why? How? I don't know. It looked like a real photograph to me.
They could put your face and bring.
Oh, they could do it. They could do it. It's frightening, Greg. It's frightening.
Yeah.
You don't know that it could be AI with the title now and not Jeremy Spooner. So
yes, I think it is. I don't think those are real photographs from.
No, I don't know, Joe. What do you think? You see the photograph?
No, I haven't seen the photograph.
Yeah, the Prime Minister is standing beside Mai in a wheelchair, in a chair,
yeah.
In a chair,
yeah,
and there are two crutches beside him, as if to say, safe, and don't think that you think I lie, the man get hurt for true.
Yeah.
But to me, that's no evidence that he got hurt.
Yeah.
You could prop that up anytime. That no.
I have seen it other appearances with him, and it's evidently not professional appearance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would have hoped that we would learn lessons from the past. I think Richard Nixon should teach a lot of us the message, at least to learn how you deal with crisis.
Yeah.
If he had gone to the altar, asked for forgiveness, seek atonement, he would have probably still have been president.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When a mistake is made by one of your ministers, you have to know how to come to the public with it. And for a minister who I must give a lot of credit to for the work he had done. And you have to admit, you don't have to go and dramatize it. You don't have to go out and give every little details. And you can do it in a very subtle way. Admit that there's something went wrong and the matter would need to be looked into, or we need to investigate, you know. But don't, I think the way you're going about it, it becomes too obvious.
You said that Nixon went to Nixon began at the altar and begged forgiveness. But boy, when the crowd smell blood, and most of us are anti-establishment. There are many people, and when that herd started to run against you, and everybody started jumping in, boy, you could beg forgiveness all you want. So the uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
My experience. And again, you have history, but I had my personal experience. It was not easy. I got that call the morning that it seems that they have transmitted tainted blood to a child. And they tell me to just hold, they will confirm shortly. And in 10 minutes' time, they confirmed. And I went straight to the call Hushna. We went into the conference room, brought in all the senior officials. And I can say this now, that they thought it was best for me not to come to tell the public the truth. Because they said, okay, what you tell them, they will go against you. That was their advice. And they were giving him it in good faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sat down. I thought about everything they did to try to protect me. I said, I thank you all. And I looked to the senior, I looked to my then who was my person responsible for public relations. I said, I want you to call a press conference. I want the press to be here today, and I would speak to them. And I told the press what happened. I told them the truth, and they never bothered me again. But if I did that, they would have been at me.
Boy, that might be an aberration. But...
No,
so I believe that in those circumstances, if we stop to examine it, and we accept firstly that something went wrong, and it's more like what Jules is saying, you can find a way, man.
Well,
you can find a way to
Bunky is saying that the photos aren't real. He might know something we don't. And that if that AI generated, it frightens me even more about AI, because they looked real. Maybe they're not. Janice said something though that was interesting, because he was talking about Tracy, and he said, well, you can understand, because when we were in government, we did the same thing. We look for any little thing to condemn the government for and to blow the proportion. Now, that's quite an admission, because that happens. I don't think it should. I really don't think oppositions exist just to oppose. And this has always been my problem with your hero, Gregory, Philip Goldstone. I feel that many times he opposed to oppose. They need to hold the government to task. Yes. And if there's anything then, like what they're doing in the House now, debating about all the money that they propose for spend and whatnot, that the kind of role an opposition plays. But just to look for something when they could try to bring the government down with, I don't think that positive at all.
Well, one of the things, again, I listen to the cases happening currently in America, and we have that issue, we have that kind of behavior. You know, PUP, okay? No, you support the PUP. The PUP did something wrong, and you cannot defend it. So what you do, you tell the other side, but I told them to do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Or bring up something when they bring, which is no, yeah.
You cannot tell me that you won't justify what you did wrong because the other side did it.
Correct. It's a fallacy of argument known as whataboutism. So you're going to tell me then, what about you? What about when you did it? But that has nothing to do with this matter being discussed.
That's right.
So I think you have to stop it.
I just wanted to say I support Jose and Joe's point of view that he spoke the truth. And I always think that you should speak the truth, because when you try to cover up things, you start digging the hole deeper and deeper, and it's hard to get out of it, you know. So I would do the same thing. I would speak the truth, you know, and take the licks, whatever comes with it, no? So
that but it's easy to say it because you're not in a situation like that, because I don't know if you're in a situation or a tough call, it would be the right one to speak the truth. It's always better to speak the truth, because when you tell one lie, you have to tell 100 lies.
Mr. Chairman, you said it a while ago. And easy lies the head that wears the crown. If you are the leader, you have to be able to lead. And it will come at times when you will have to make some tough decisions, but make them, if they are the right thing to do it. You will likely to come out of it than if you lie. It gets worse, because then they will be hanging you. They will be on top of you. That is what is happening again right here in America with Trump in trying to hide the files. And it gets worse for him. One of your ministers did something that is wrong, but you had the trust in him. He performed well. Give credit to him for what he did. Give the credit to him for his performance. But we need to look into this matter. It doesn't look well, and we will deal with it. And that's what you deal with.
Well, we hear that so much. We look into it. Trump has that problem. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, really.
No. I don't mean that to say that I haven't gotten around to it. All I'm trying to say is that don't try to deny something that is overwhelmingly proven already. Don't deny it. It's worse for you to deny it. You don't have to throw him to the wolves. You don't have to throw under the bus.
Until you're in the situation and in a position where Yeah.
It causes you to lose confidence with your people when you're caught in easy lies, because then they're going, what else? It makes everything else then that is said about you or against you quite believable, or possibly that you're not coming up with the truth at this point, especially when it's an easy one, like Mr. Coy said, that if you explain the truth and it moves forward, then you're okay. And you may get blasted for it. The truth may be devastating to deal with, like someone getting tainted blood. They could come back at the minister and say, well, it's because these things are happening, so many things are happening. And you may have to address those likewise.
The Belize Times has their motto, the truth shall set you free.
It was a motto they didn't uphold to.
I'm seeing two very big smiles when you said that. Even Joe, they said, boy, you got to be naive.
So I did ask the party leader one time, why did you say the truth shall make you free? You are suggesting that as though you are not free.
Boy.
And the truth will make you free. I said, but we are supposed to be free already, party leader. No, if we don't tell the truth, then we will be bungled.
But that whole mess though. But if they're lying, I believe it will come out. The thing is that I don't know if we could get anything out of the Americans. They tend to not want to be involved in that way.
They will not. Yeah.
And tell us.
You'll get something in Freedom of Information Act at some point, but it'll be 20 years down the road.
Yeah. When it's too late to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Let's assume, Mr. Chairman, that you are the leader. And yes, you had a conversation with the embassy. The embassy gave you some evidence that you could not have refuted, overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, would I like something to be done? It is then you have to make up your mind as to what you will do.
Maybe not evidence they give them. Maybe not one directive.
Well, I am saying to you, if it's a directive, it must be a directive based on evidence.
And some facts and some information.
But I am saying to you, if you give me a directive, which I would not take too kindly to, then I might want to make you understand that this is a sovereign country and you don't run us. No, something is wrong. Give me the information and I will deal with it. Don't tell me how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
If I deal with it because I accept that what you're giving me is true, and I am the Prime Minister of this country, not you all. And I thank you for giving me the information and I will deal with it. No, if you do not deal with it, I could understand why they may want to expose you. But don't direct me and tell me what I am to do. You give me the information, I welcome the information. I am the leader.
But then the US should have talked about you, Joe. You're talking about the US of A.
I don't care who it is.
But can you really do that? Can you really stand to them and say, boy, you not tell me what to do? Has that been done before?
I don't think they'll tell you what to do.
If that has been done before, I thought that we did it many times.
Yeah.
You realize that Belize, when the British thought and the Americans, that Belize was not able to win over so many countries. And we won the non-aligned countries, 77 of them. We run the Central American countries except one. Mm-hmm. But what we did, and I must give Mr. Price credit, you're not going to outwardly disregard them. I am not suggesting you disregard. But I will respect you and you respect me. You have some information that you want to share with me, and you feel like, and this is we have to understand these things. The Anti-Money Laundering Act was not to protect Belize. But we had to sign a treaty was to protect the United States. So it's not something that we should not have done. We should want to protect the United States if we can.
Yeah, but that affects us too. So that always also.
Really, I'm saying that the Anti-Money Laundering Act, evidently, for we countries, it was not primarily for us. It was the fear that the United States, and a justifiable fear, because the terrorism was to war against them, not us. But we walk along with them, and I am saying this to you again. I don't believe that in these circumstances there should be no vertical partnership. You have to be horizontal. You can be big as you are, but the relationship must be horizontal, not vertical.
Pay attention to what Verlene just put up. When that big stick over your head, and they tell you what to do, and they carry a big stick. They have used that big stick, and will use it again when they need to. So again, we don't know what it is. Apparently, it's something. If it is something, it's something significant enough for the PM to say, "Boy, you have to take a walk. You have to hold, step down on this one."
Can I ask? Sorry, can I ask you a question? If the story is true about a minister involved in the free zone, isn't it good in a sense that because we know us, we will not investigate, and even if we know about it, we'll try to hide it, like probably what's happening now. Isn't it a good thing for America, with all the resources that it has, to inform us of these things going on within our government? I appreciate that.
I think
I agree with that.
I think
I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
You have information and something that can affect us and also affect you maybe indirectly. You have the capacity for surveillance more than we have, so we have to give that to them.
But
I think we have to cooperate. We have to work together.
And that certainly is not a bad thing. Cooperation is not a bad thing, but you're being idealistic. If you're going to think that America is going to be doing this just for help, I don't see that. I see them they will do it if it's going to affect them in some way, and somehow what they're doing might pose some kind of danger and threat to them. But as far as beliefs, they say, "Oh well, we got the resources, so we'll help you for find out what these people are doing wrong." I don't see that happening.
Regardless, I would accept it. Yeah.
But I can say this, Mr. Chairman, and I'm telling you from my experience with them, that is not really so. America, whatever faults he may have with the Monroe Doctrine, its dominance, its abuse, and whatnot, the truth about it, you can work with some of them, depending sometimes on who is at their hem.
Well, Trump is at the hem now.
No, we have worked closely with the United States, and I was involved with them when we had meetings in the Dominican Republic. We were working together, and they warned us at the time. He said they are strengthening now the area which is weak, which was through Jamaica. He said, and the minute we do it, he said they will shift towards Belize. And we had it all planned that when they do that, they will help us and support us. So to me, we have to begin on the assumption that we will cooperate with each other on a horizontal basis, and not to take the assumption that they are a big bad wolf. Because
they're no assumption, Joe. No reality. They are a big bad wolf.
I don't see that. I don't see America as a big bad wolf. What I see
are a big wolf. A big wolf.
No. I have seen instances where administrations have behaved in that manner. They do.
And this one, how about this one right now? That because we live under this one, we don't have to go far from have you seen this administration with a tendency to behave that way?
You mean under the Trump?
Yes.
But that's obvious, man. That's
all right. So then there it is. We're not
about he best of allies.
Listen, America has long been a paragon of virtue, a paragon of liberty, a place that we aspire to go and we look up to as a wonderful place. But there are some things happening now and that have been happening that makes us wonder, is it the same America we're looking at that we knew to be what they were? A refuge for the tired, give me your tired, you're restless, or has it been transformed into something else?
Well, I've always
Let's talk
thought
about
that Americas has always ascertained their influence on countries around the world, especially those closer to us here in the Americas. For instance, when Guatemala was it hold on, which country was it Guatemala that voted in a socialist or
Or was it
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua? It might have been Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, and he was ousted. Remember, the CIA got involved and so on. So they're from your days and my days, G. Mike. America has always got herself involved to secure their security, and sometimes we benefit from it. You know.
I was reading somewhere that America over the last 20 or so years have been responsible for 64 regime changes throughout the world. That if they don't want to, that is what's happening in Venezuela right now. And many people believe that this is simply about a regime change. They want to get rid of Maduro.
Well, I don't like the idea, just like Guatemala claims us. I don't like the idea that Venezuela claims Guyana, especially now that they discovered all that oil there. So we as CARICOM should support Guyana as opposed to supporting.
But this is not about Guyana. That you really
But
think
Guyana
that,
is CARICOM. They're our brother and our
right,
sister.
right. But are
So
you
we should be
saying
supporting them, not to support just because Maduro
Jeremy,
gave.
Jeremy did a nice tactical shift there.
you see that with Ghana and Greg and he thinks nobody see that.
You know, but
Hold on, but we not to talk about Guyana and Venezuela. We talk about a military build-up by the U.S.
I
around
got no problem
Venezuela.
with that. I got
You have no problem with that.
No, sir. The
What-
only
what-
reason those CARICOM countries gone and balled for Venezuela is because of Petrocaribe and the loans. And then
No, that's not the reason. That's
all
not
this.
the only reason. That's not the only reason. It's because they're looking at possible regime change. And yeah, nobody, I believe, agree with the claim that Venezuela has against those territorial, those
Correct. Guyana and the waters, yeah.
waters in off the coast of Guyana and where those oil-rich fields are placed. I think everybody's concerned about that particular, and we do want that to be cleared up, and it could be cleared up peacefully, just like how the claim with Belize and Guatemala could be cleared up. And that's outside of what we're seeing in the immediate, because even if the U.S. invade Venezuela, there's no agreement, there's no certainty that Venezuela is going to drop that claim against those territorial waters that is part of Guyana.
Well, there's big money involved, you know.
Oh, billions and billions of dollars.
Lots of oil there and resources that.
Guyana just started pumping 900,000 barrels of oil, I think, last week.
Yeah. They but so I listen. If America is going in there to ensure the safety of Guyana, I could understand. But that's more than that. There's a regime change. They need countries that are favorable to them, the leaders favorable to them in place. I think it's the same thing happening in the Middle East. There were a lot of changes until the people in places were favorable to them and made no move.
That's the big world game. That's the big political game of the world. It's always
but that's
you
missing it. Miss it to flippantly, man.
Let me.
Go ahead.
I'd like to kind of disaggregate that or analyze it a little bit more. I would accept that the United States has gone for regime change in many countries in Central and Latin America. When those who emerge, overthrowing some oppressive capitalist leaders, and when those who emerge with popular support choose not to go for democracy and call elections, eventually you'll begin to get a strange relationship between the United States and those countries. Now, in the case of Chile, I think it was Pinochet, or what was it? No, Allende.
Yeah.
I believe that America was wrong because Allende was a socialist, won his election by popular support, But the government at the time in the United States was seeing a communist under every coconut tree in the Caribbean. That is how they were seeing the Caribbean, that we were going communist, that we were all moving. You have Michael Manley, the egalitarian society. You got Maurice Bishop.
Yeah.
You got Fidel. The whole of Latin America was going socialist.
Socialist, not communist, and I think there's a difference.
Well, we will leave the difference. Socialist it was. When Maurice Bishop, after overthrowing Gary, who should have been overthrown indeed, and he went to the United Nations, he promised that, yes, he said that he will have free and fair elections. And he never did call the elections. And then among his own group, his allies that was with him, assassinated him. I am not saying that the United States has a right to southern countries in this region, their form of democracy. But when you look on the Central and Latin American countries, which we made several attempts, and we're still trying to see how we could unify us. And I think a man like Hugo Chavez, with the high wealth he had, I thought he was doing a good job in trying to unify this region and using his own wealth to help countries. Look how much he did for us and other countries because of the money he had. And he was
remember Katrina, when they were jumping in there offering help? Of course, America refused, but it showed that he wasn't partial to one or the other. He just wanted to help make humanity better.
Like Cuba did the same.
Yeah, look at the many doctors and whatnot.
Cuba offered doctors in the case of the New Orleans hurricane. Cuba has sent doctors as far away as in Africa to help.
Do you know some doctors in the United States, in the inner city of some of these tougher states that has high black population, had doctors that got trained in Cuba and they come back here to the United States? There are quite a few doctors that got trained in the United States. They have a hard time getting their credential accepted, but quite a few doctors came from Cuba and work in the inner city in different capacity here.
Here's an interesting comment. The United States has interfered in more than 80 foreign elections between 1946 and 2000. And that doesn't count US-backed coups and invasions. We respect the former New York Times reporter. I imagine he's saying that
I think what is written there is factual. That is true. We have read that already. But I will show you what will happen. America will not be able to stop the rise and the spread of socialism. It will not be able to stop it. Countries will move towards the socialist movement. Right there, in the big city of New York, a democratic socialist, 34 years old, win an election.
Self-proclaimed, actually, yeah. He said that
because the reality of it is that socialism is in way. Is the gospel imperative for us to look after each other?
Is socialism a bad thing?
No, it is not. I'm saying it's the gospel imperative.
Jeremy?
Your brothers and sisters keep
I have socialist views, yes.
Okay.
It is. And you don't want to stop it.
I'm a socialist. It's such an animal. I'm a socialist capitalist. Yeah.
I don't know if that one could exist.
He always trying to turn some shit in one way.
No, it's not a shit because I believe in capitalistic ideals, and I also believe
you're either a socialist or you want to be a socialist.
Who help themselves need to be helped.
You want to be a socialist. You want to be a socialist, but you also want to have as much money as you can.
But I also believe that I should enjoy the fruits of my hard labor too.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do believe that there needs to be at certain level,
a ceiling,
minimum level of healthcare,
healthcare,
housing,
education,
accessibility to education, and those specific social need that all human beings require. I think we need to do that. And as we move more into AI, as we move in more into technology where a lot of labor will not be needed, especially
That's the point. Yeah.
at the lower end of skill. Just the other day, I was looking at, I don't know if it's a AI generated, but some equipment that actually does farm work. And I was saying, wow, if this is really true, we'll be able to cut out 75-90% of the people on farm with this.
And do what with them?
That's the issue. How
are we gonna give them money for nothing? Remember that song, "Money for Nothing, Get Your Checks for Free."
Well, at some point, the capitalists and the society will have to maintain these people.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's time for us to have this discussion. You know why? I think among us right here, we could be differing on what is capitalism. The difference when we talk of capitalism, we are talking about a group of people, which in neoliberals were, who wants the least regulation. They want to pay the least taxes. They want free trade. They want free movement of capital. But in the end, there is no doubt that when you invest your money, you want a return. The conflict with the capitalists, as they are described, because they want to subordinate human beings to capital. The challenge that faces the world is that any investor, anybody who put in money into our business, you want a return. But you must not get a return at the expense of labor. So those capitalists who call capitalists then see something as mutually exclusive. You can't have capital and labor. Of course you can have both. But let labor get fair share of the pie, just like all the capitalists want. And when they refer to us as capitalists, they mean hard capitalists.
The point now, we're reaching the point where we're excluding labor. So how do you account for that?
What's that?
I said we're reaching the point with AI and robotics and stuff where we can exclude labor to a great degree and make unemployed, redundancy in many skill levels. And so that is going to be the issue. And I mentioned the lower level, but it's also going to happen at some of the higher level of employment level. Some of the professional levels, we're going to be reducing that type of capability.
Well, Mr. Morrison, the world has been on this trajectory for over 1,000 years now.
I agree.
We are just reaching. When you move from the buggy cart to the automobile, that's a technological disruption.
Yes.
And they dealt with it.
Yes.
Then when we move, yes, from here now to the AI, there is a solution for that.
Well, I agreed.
The solution is simple. The solution will be just as it was in the other technological disruption.
The solution will be simple. You were getting ready to say, give me an idea what you think that solution will be.
The solution will be this. It means that the economy will shift towards more leisure economy. Just like how we have tourists.
Yeah.
Tourists is a leisure economy.
But they have to get their money from somewhere to spend it.
No, man, all right, let's go back. Before we had division of labor, evidently there was a change came and we had division of labor. But to suggest that AI will displace human beings, that is total nonsense.
That's not true.
Oh, Joe.
What happened?
It's nonsense.
You hit on it a little bit. You hit on it a little bit, Mr. Coy. What had happened 100 years ago was that people were employed for 80, 90 hours a week. And as the time progressed, we see employment comes to 40 hours. So employment will probably come to 20 or 30 hours.
Exactly, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. You're going to
you're saying that AI will not replace human beings, but they're ready. No, you didn't say that, or no, that's not.
I'm saying that to suggest, as some seems to believe, that AI will be replacing human beings generally. No.
In the workplace, they will.
No, man, what it will do is exactly what the other technological disruption did. It will allow human beings to have more leisure. They want to work less and they want to make the same amount or more. but you cannot totally displace human beings.
You are going to rely. You are going to rely on human beings to give you that more that you're talking about. You have to understand there's a factor that you have to consider: greed. The more they got, the more they want. In particular, people who have. Many of the people who have all the money aren't the ones who do the labor. You know, they don't work. They just use that money to multiply itself.
Well, let me say this, Mr. Chairman. Go back to the French Revolution and see what happened. If you think, say, you want to have a lot of people out there can't work because AI won't replace them, see who want to replace them, same people who got the AI. See who want to replace them. You think you got thousands and thousands of people out of job and no work? That's impossible, man. That ain't a human beings.
So what do we do? What do we do? Take, for instance, Amazon just reported that they replaced 75% of their workforce with robots that are doing the same things that the human beings were doing. They don't get tired. They just put on the island for them giants and they go work all day and night.
All right.
So let
me show you what could happen there. And that is why I cannot support the neoliberalism. Because they were deregulating to the point where they were subordinating human beings to capital. And what happens? If you do not put a stop to it, you won't have one serious revolution. The people will rise up. So anyone of them would think, say, you could put thousands and thousands of workers out of job because of AI. You better be careful that anyone would think that way at the end of them.
Joe, you are giving these people a lot more credit. These people who make the shakers and bakers making
what the decision. What are
they? Those who run the world, then the people with the big money, the billionaires that run the world. They don't have no sympathy for no lot of people. You say the people are rebel. Then you got the robots to fight against them. What are you gonna do?
All right, so you're going to tell me then that there will only be a few people on this earth. The rest will just be killed out.
I don't know if they don't want that. I don't know if that's not where some people are looking at. Mr. Morrison has said that the savings will go back to the people.
Exactly.
We're talking about it. The disruption will continue, but it will not be based on individual companies' decision. I think it will have to be government decision. They have to look at the entire system and say, okay, we're changing from a 40-hour week to a 25-hour week or a 20-hour week.
Do you see us going in that direction? Do you see us?
It's the only way. It's the only way.
Governments are going to look out for the common people as opposed to the people who put them
first
there.
Government have to get alignment. First, the
state will have to regulate. Mr. Morrison is right. Sorry to interrupt. The state has to regulate.
It would be nice, but are they going to regulate in favor of the common man or in favor of the ones with the money?
They won't have a choice.
Joe, they have a choice. They do have a choice.
Well, you have to remember the state are the people,
That's right.
Again, we're being idealistic. Yeah, I understand.
But at some point, it needs to.
We have to be idealistic. We have to.
And it needs to reach some type of balance and equilibrium to make this happen. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen individually. Just like
it's not going to happen on its own. We probably have to make it happen.
Yes.
But do we have the will to do that? You're dealing with people, and I hear you guys say, well, we have to unite, and other countries are going to have to unite. Each country will have to unite within itself. Belize, for instance. Belize is so disunited, and not funny. Can we hold it together and demand the necessary changes that will bring us to the point where we need to be? Are we?
But Mr. Chairman, I would like to comment on a statement you made and heard it before, that we will have to be idealistic, or we are being idealistic. But we have to be idealistic. If human beings are not idealistic, we would have never advanced in the world. We have to be idealistic.
But you're hoping for an ideal situation, again, a hope over experience.
Mr. Chairman, the advancement of humanity is the narrowing a gap between the reality and the ideals. You have to go ideals. If you don't go ideals, human beings would never develop. You have to set ideals. And your reality is where you are now. And you are moved from the reality.
I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong in what you're saying, but you're wrong in assessing that to what I was saying. I am not I don't mean in that way that you don't need lofty goals, or you don't look for an area that will lift you. That's different. I'm saying we tend to sometimes think in a way where we want for it to be, as opposed to where it actually is. And that's idealism, as far as I see it. It would be nice for all of this to happen. Indeed, I would not be against it. But I'm just saying, does man himself have the will to make something like this happen? And
You know, I'll say something. In the early days when trade union was looking for adjusting of the work week, there were people that hired people to go and break their head and beat them up. And eventually the state made the decision that the work week will be 40 hours or 45 hours. And steadily it's been going down. And sincerely, it will continue to go down as we implement AI. And it will
you think that's the answer? The answer is to give less work.
That's the only answer.
Well, I have faith in humankind, and I think we will adjust to the new position. And
That's right.
Just like me with when the
We don't adjust easily, though. We don't
when the
adjust
analog
easily.
photography died out and digital came in, I had to adapt and change, and it was a different system. We've had industrialized revolutions throughout our history, and we've all adapted and
That's right.
and survived.
Exactly.
We'll be okay.
I'll fit in.
From your lips to God's ears. But you know what? We have never had anything like what we are experiencing today. Let's make that real.
It's rapid. It's rapid.
That's something going to happen, yeah?
Yeah.
And it will take a lot of work and on behalf of everybody, a total agreement, a commitment of minds. And I don't know that the greedy are going to relinquish what they have, because they will have to give up and leave it at what they have.
Look at this situation here, G Mike, this podcast that you have created here. We don't have to rely on the news anymore on the radio station. You can invite guests onto your show to help decipher what is going on in Belize or around the world, and the whole world can watch us. We haven't taken away jobs away from the newscasters and so on TV and journalists.
I don't think that's the thing,
so We have added.
Yes, there's certainly that we've expanded our reach with our communication. We could reach, we could deal with people like that on a real-time basis. But they're not the same thing. It's not it's not the same as what is happening with the AI and the replacement of manual labor with machines. Let's see, I have a question. Do you think AI is a capitalist tool with workers that you don't have to pay? Sammy, but then the question be where you do it then workers, and Joyce saying that you're not a revolution.
Maybe might have to just have less kids.
Well, we are having less kids. You know that one time when people got 12, 13 picnic, you don't see that again. Everybody's having one or two.
But still the world population is growing. But still the world population is growing tremendously.
But there's a lot of people, and maybe that's why they're killing off some in the wars and whatnot, no? You never know how these people think. The powerful among us, the over-ambitious, or have some schemes where if you really sight the depth of it, you just gasp. Where do the nuclear expansion fits into the equation?
He said revolution.
I'm trying to figure out what maybe it kill some people.
Well, a revolution doesn't have to normally be militaristic in terms. It could be the ideas, and it could be the actions of trying to find solutions in unusual ways.
I got one question. Are we ready for what is happening? Is the world ready? I don't mean like we four with it, or five with it. Is the world ready for this?
I don't think the world see it coming in some instances. I don't really think a lot of people, I think when you look at where we are, that we four people here, we have an understanding of what's going on to some degree, but a lot of people don't, and don't have a time to make that space because they're so busy trying to
being busy.
And so they haven't had a chance to sit. Everything is reacting around them, and I think to answer that question, I don't think there is ready. I don't even think they're aware.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I get frustrated. There is so much information coming out there.
Oh man, that's
every
so
day.
rapid. So rapid.
I can't read everything. Otherwise, I won't do anything at home, which is happening already.
Yeah,
Because
and
even
you
for
need
the
to be
show-
up on it.
the
You
next
need
show,
to.
I have to inform myself of what is going on in case you ask me a question or something like that. But I have other
Well,
things to
1%. You have
Sorry,
1%. 1% of the richest people in the world. 1% controls 50% of the wealth of the world. Now, most countries today are beginning to become more and more conscious of the need to begin to have a more equitable distribution of that pie. Because they are beginning to realize that the gap that was widening, and Jeffrey Sachs, the same Nobel Prize winner, is showing you that wherever the gap is widening, you have more and more social unrest. And the world will have to come to accept that you cannot continue to widen the gap, because it will lead to our social unrest, that the people who believe that they have the money will be able to enjoy their own. So I think the world is becoming more and more aware and conscious that we have to change the way this pie is being shared.
You're gonna have to reach a ceiling one day. Definitely,
We have to find a way to better distribute the wealth that is being created. Because we don't have development, you could have growth. But if you don't have an equitable distribution of the growth, you won't have development. And a lot of things that are happening right here in Belize is simply because maybe we did not distribute the wealth the way we should have.
Yeah.
So we are beginning to realize that we cannot continue in the widening of the gap. Right there in the United States, you have billionaires in America who they become conscious now too, that they have to change their ways of how they do business and how they do things. Because if they continue the way they are going, they will not be able to live on this earth. I think that the time in Belize should have been indeed that we have to look at what I believe we could be going through. I think we could be going through a leadership crisis. You realize, gentlemen, that if something should happen as it is seemed to be happening, where the PUP becomes discredited, I'm just saying that if it happens, you realize that the voters of this country can vote against the incumbent and not even aware of what will fill the void. That's what they can do, because when people become so upset with what you are doing and they lose the trust in you, they will vote against the incumbent, then they will vote for the opposition. And when you vote for incumbent, when you vote against the incumbent, and you have no regard for fill the void, what you get will be worse. So I'm saying that we have to begin to look seriously at leadership in our country. And I don't think sometimes we think of leadership only in terms of politics. No.
Yeah.
We have to look at the trade unions. We have to look at the business community. We have to look at the churches to see if there is the leadership there still. But don't think that leadership is only about political leadership.
True.
Anyhow, we look like the 13th proposal have put the rest. We did a good job to stop it, it seems.
What are they saying? What are they saying today?
To me, they seem to have realized that the 13th proposal now work.
Yeah, but is it necessary? Is it even necessary? Because they already have the
It is unwise to believe that carrying out the state of emergency against these kind of crimes is your solution. You cannot.
Right.
You need to go to the cause of the problem and address the cause.
Yeah.
So you could put all the things you want on the skin. The dermatologist will tell you, we have put this on your skin to give you relief, but we need to get to the cause. And the same thing with social beings. If you don't address the cause, you're wasting your time with trying to suppress symptoms.
Yeah.
I am convinced, gentlemen, I am older than you also. If anything, I wouldn't want to live for punishment than me. But if we don't get our act together and stop this thing about PUP and UDP, I'm not saying you're not supposed to have political parties. But ask yourself right now, How did the opposition get this way? And what we say, boy, it may happen before. But how we justify it? Oh, it may happen before, man, already and get back. Man, we can't continue to accept this kind of leadership in the country. Anyhow.
No, you know, Joe, but that's what concerns me the most, because most of us are getting older, in particular us in this discussion, no? But the young people coming up, and when I ask are we prepared, are we ready for this, are we preparing our young people to take over? Now, see, Smoke is saying we need younger people in power. Yes, we do. Older people know their day is done. I don't agree with that. I can't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It better not be. But I know.
I want to tell you, see, Smoke, that if I was as young as him, I would not believe it either. Because the truth about human beings, as they grow older and apply themselves, they will get wiser. If you look at the 10 leading countries in this world, and look at the first top 20 countries in this world, look how old their leaders are. So what you must do, it's not that the young will be better than the old. The thing is that those who are getting older must prepare the young to take over. That's succession.
What we have to understand is that we're one human race.
That's right.
One man, actually, that has branched off into many different other souls and other minds. And working together is the only way we can survive.
That's right.
We have had a big problem in working together. This is what we have to find out, how we can teach our young to be better human beings, to be more compassionate, to be more understanding and considerate of each other. That is where I don't think we are doing enough. And education is a wonderful tool, but now we've turned education into almost indoctrination. So we're not teaching our children how to think for themselves. We're telling them how to think in order that they can contribute to a system already in place, as opposed to developing a better system for everybody. And I might just be talking fool there, but that I think you have to look at it. Really have to
I don't think you are talking fool, Mr. Chairman. I think that is the reality of human beings. What you're saying is inherently true. It's self-evident, I must say.
I think we need to do better, and in particular, when we look at us, Belize, as a small country, because we need to be realistic. We have different ethnic groups, and I want to branch off into this a bit. But everybody seems to want to be in their own corner. Everybody almost on balkanization, where everybody wants to be the boss, the better of the rest of us. But until we can come together and realize that all of us in a one fight, a fight to survive as a nation. We just had the Caribbean Settlement Day on the 19th of November. And I've been saying this for a few years. I've not had much success in convincing people, but I believe that we should have instead a cultural day where all the cultures exhibit their respective identity and habits and whatnot, as opposed to just one, we hold one and then everybody dress in this color and we go out to celebrate the Garunagu, which is all right because they've contributed a lot to this country in sports and music, as lawyers, as
judges, policemen,
teachers, policemen. But at the end of the day, all of us are in this fight together. All of us has to put our shoulder to the wheel.
I would support a cultural day where we rejoice in all the cultures that are existing in Belize.
And there are many. And we can do it together. We can work together. But if we have everyone thinking that they're better than any other one, then we have a problem. And we really have to be very, very careful as we move forward, because this country could just go off in all kind of different ways, or we can unite as one country and do better for ourselves. It will take a lot of doing. It will take
I think we need to try to see our diversity as a virtue rather than a divisiveness. And using maybe the metaphor, how would you like to see a garden of lone lilies? Evidently not. But if you have a garden with a diversity of different flowers and plants and whatnot, that is where your beauty is. So I think it is in this diversity of us. I said to somebody on the 19th, I spent 2.5 years second in command at the district of Toledo. The Garifunas were some of my best friends. And I could have walked along the dark alley with them. One of them tell me one time when we were on the eve, we are celebrating. He said, Mr. Coy, he said, Allah, we are one. I said, that's right, Allah, we are one. And I thought that the time had long come when we stopped to call them what we used to call them infelicity and begin to look at each other with respect for each other. They made their contribution to this country, just like the Creole did, just like the Mestizo did, just like
the Mennonites did and the Chinese did.
We all did. So in that diversity, let it be a virtue. Let it be something to uplift us. And let us remember we have to be there for each other. I give Mr. Price the credit again, because he was one who was fighting for the unity. And let us all see ourselves as Belizeans first.
Variety is the spice of life. And Sambre put up earlier that he thought Mr. Price was a socialist. I thought he was too. But again, I don't see socialism as a bad thing. I see that as it comes from the very word social, society. We are a society. We have to intermingle with one another, communicate, work with one another. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that none is better than the other. It doesn't matter who may have first, who comes later. Berlin is saying that would need to be a separate day. November 19 has its commemorative purpose. I hear you, and yes, I understand, but then Berlin, at some point, will have to understand. Because I've heard the Garino go also say that they are indigenous, not to Belize. They're indigenous to St. Vincent. So you can't, if you're gonna settlement, you can't refer to yourself as indigenous, because that means you have selected a time when you've settled in this area. That's a total different matter than to say that you are indigenous to an area. So that's something, and I wish we had Berlin on this program so we could discuss this more at length. But
I'd like to accentuate something here. The 19th of November, I give credit to the Garifuna to unite us. You realize that today, on the 19th of November, look at the amount of people who will leave the city to come out to Dangriga, to come to different parts of the country to celebrate.
Yes.
Mestizos, Creole, all kind. So to be in a
cultural day is what they call it, right?
That's right. And I think it has brought us together.
Actually, no, they don't call it
culture. Well, they said.
But they said the culture capital.
Culture capital, yes.
They're not the culture capital. They're the Garifuna cultural capital.
Well, whatever I want to call it, I love the drums. I love the music. I just like I like the words. I wish I could speak it. I really enjoy Garifuna drums, and I really love their songs.
And not to mention Hudud.
And I love the Hudud too.
Yeah. But
anyhow,
I think
my wife can make very good.
Is Hudud and Matilda Foot the same thing? Because I remember my mom used to make something she called Matilda Foot and said
that's the plantain, right? Matilda Foot at the plantain, right?
Well, yeah. Hudud is a plantain also, technically speaking. Yeah. But we have common usage has brought us to refer to everything as Hudud. So,
you know that the Garifuna society in Belize have a high incidence of diabetes, and you know what their main source of food is? A lot of ground food, a lot of plantain and a lot of cocoa and a lot of cassava.
Is that a verifiable fact?
I've asked, and it says that Africans and Asians and so on suffer very badly from diabetes. They're prone to it more than Caucasians.
Do you think diabetes is from diet primarily, or
Type 2. It's from diet. Type 2. It's a lifestyle.
And it's not hereditary?
Oh no,
Type
if your
1.
father has it, you can get it too. Yeah. You're more
Type 1
prone to it. You're more prone.
One is hereditary and one is acquired.
Okay, I know that Sanina is a scourge that has affected a
Because
lot
of
of people.
The chances if you're overweight, if you're eating unhealthy, if runs in your family, the chances are higher. Okay, my father had it and my grandfather had it. And my lifestyle is I love to eat. I'm not a drinker, but I'm an eater. And I would whop down 3 or 4 plates at a sitting because I just love food. You could take me woman, but not take me food. Now that's my
So you're just greedy. Not
But
take your food, not take your food or your money, I bet you.
St. Catherine's Elementary, 10 o'clock in the morning, then it sell Coca-Cola, Ideal, all these sweets and so on. All the Coca-Cola you drink, all the soft drinks you drink, the ice cream and all that, that's not good for your body. You're bombarding your body with all this carbohydrates, So,
Yeah.
but not everybody gets it. It's like, some people drink and they don't become an addict. And some people do, Some people smoke cigarettes and drink their whole life and nothing happened to them. But I am susceptible to it. I got it. I got diabetes. And it's a horrible disease. And a lot of it has to do with your food, what you eat.
Well,
and starch is a big thing. Potato, cassava.
I guess you're not to the point yet. I have a brother that does dialysis several times a week.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Terrible. That's rough.
I don't want to go there. I've told myself
many people who are doing that.
Yeah.
But that was stats that I had not heard. That in fact the Garanagu are susceptible to that.
I'll have to look up that and research it and bring it out.
Talking about that, I remember when I was a young boy in Belize, there were very few overweight people, and when we walk about now in Belize and we look, I'm just amazed of the level of obesity that's just throughout the country.
Look at the concerts. Look at all them big women. They're huge.
Well, you see them man that walk out with a big belly front and then proudly so.
Our policemen, our BDF.
Yeah, men in uniform. I was on the bus the other day with this police, and man, I want to say something. Yeah. Discretion is the better part of valor, they say. But this guy was huge, and big frame. It was just fat, like somebody put and pump up his backside and blow it up, no? And I'm saying, you didn't get like that overnight. You allowed that to happen. At some point, you should stop and say, wait, this out of hand. I have to do a little fasting. I have to change my diet. I have to do more exercise. Because there are ways, you see, I admire men who grow up and still maintain some kind of physique. Some muscles about them.
I hope you know me to talk about you, Mr. Charles.
Well, I didn't have you in mind at all. The fat part, yeah, but no. Seriously, and it can happen. You can grow up and not get that size, but you have to pay attention to your life.
You have to be health conscious. And that is one of the big causes for diabetes in Belize. And that is a real strain on our national health budget. The level of cost that's being incurred by the society due to this unhealthy lifestyle.
And speaking of the health thing, because I saw, and we never come back to the government shutdown and reopening. Because last week, where some people thought that the Democrats had caved in and was cowardly of them to not stick with it. But I would have rather the fight be not for affordable health care to some people or most people, but free health care. I don't see why health care education cannot be free. I think if we would dedicate some of the money we spend building rockets and going to moon and to space, on education and healthcare, everybody would be in a good position to have the proper coverage, no?
You know, just like I think it's less than 0.5% of the budget is dedicated to the space exploration.
Hi, I'm Heather Heavens. I'm Erin Frago. And if you're anything like me,
You-
sometimes you just need a story that makes you feel
And so I don't think it's excessive amount of money that's being used for space exploration. And I think that is necessary for just the human development and understanding, and also to help us set our eyes and our brains to the possibilities of the future. So I'm not against spending.
And what? Well, what you really think that money is well spent?
Yes, definitely. The technological breakthrough that comes back to society from such type of investment, I don't consider it as a lost spending.
Like what? Like what, Gregory? What's some of the benefits that we receive from that?
I'll just think of a few because I looked over and saw the microwave oven in the kitchen.
We didn't get that from space. That was developed from stuff right there.
No, it's from that basic explorative technology that we got those type of.
Yeah, all right. So explorative development, we explore and try different things and whatnot. But I don't think we had to go to space for that. You know how much one of those rockets costs? A couple of them where Elon Musk done blow up already. You know how much that costs?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, there is a book, State Enterprise, should be read. State Enterprise is saying, supporting what Gregory is saying. America spent a lot of money on research and development in space and whatnot. And you see those things, it is what brought a lot of development to America, inventions.
Going to space.
Yes, and that is why
And
this
war.
guy wrote the book, he's saying, you think they should be taxed more than they're taxing these ones that became so wealthy after the result? It's because that was the taxpayers' money. So I agree with you. I think the money is being well spent. Maybe what they should do is to tax those with the benefit from it more. Those research that they are doing has brought a lot of inventions to America. The same space research and all anyway NASA and they do.
But you know, if you look at the computers because of
The lady
space
saying
separation, I don't know that all of that. Do you know that we can develop even the atmosphere of space right here on Earth in area? So I don't know that you could tie anything and say, oh, that's a part, but you'd have to show me the connection, the string that connects the two. I think all that came from research, right? And yes, we do research. That is good. But I don't think that the money that we're spending to try to colonize Mars, for instance, is any money well spent at all. It could not be spent to make life more livable here on Earth and a higher quality for more people. So I'm not buying it, but I'm just one guy, no one voice. So
it is true. You're talking about examples. There's some new material that they have developed to handle the heat from the high temperature of space rockets that is being used for different type of development and construction being looked at because they are so newly developed for construction and stuff because of their high tensile strength and their ability to handle heat and such. That will in time become beneficial to our whatever our endeavor here is on Earth and definitely as we further into space. So
invariable there'll be beneficial spin-offs and whatnot. I imagine there are a few things that I don't think that we're getting value for money. I don't think the money that's being spent because it's a lot of money. And Jeremy, did you say war a while ago? As something that brings development down?
Yeah. War brings a lot of in medicine and so on. There's a lot of.
It does, unfortunately, it does.
Boy,
war does a lot of science.
Yeah.
Comes out of war.
Yeah, a lot.
Yes,
especially
medical. A lot of medical, medical advancements come from war.
Yeah.
That is an example about how that eagle come good.
I guess you could say that.
Yes.
No?
Because what he's saying, what Larry is saying is true.
Yeah.
Those countries, especially with Germany,
Mhm.
it was because of their warlike behavior they developed and invented so many things that the world in the end benefited from.
The missile.
That's
They
right.
started that. Yeah, that went into rockets when the Americans grabbed all the German scientists and brought them over to work on the space program.
So the
All
war,
the Jewish German scientists.
Yeah.
the war developed the technology that gave us rockets going into outer space, which brings me right back to where I'm saying that I don't think either war or space is worth the money that's spent on these projects. I don't see it. I cannot see the justification of it.
Yeah, one of the problems with war, it does create those development, but it is one of the biggest loss because the resources doesn't have duplication. You can't use a tank for anything else. Yes, you could use a truck for something else, but you can't use a gun for anything else other than so there's some real negatives that doesn't allow payback in terms of preparation for war. And that's why I think last week we were leaning on what NATO was asked to spend, and these countries are asked to spend such large percentage of their budget now. And so that I see as problematic when such a large percentage is being asked to be spent of a country's national budget.
Yeah, hold up, Gregory. Somebody has a radio on the who?
It's not me.
See why? Joe, you're not gonna radio on, right?
Well, no, I'm not going to read you, but the TV was on. I don't know if that.
Well, you turned it off?
No, because it's been there for some time. I started.
All right, no, yeah, it's off now. Whatever was on is off now.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
No, but Greg, I'm sorry, but I don't want to interrupt you, but we weren't hearing what you were saying, huh?
Yeah, I just did a quick search. How much does America spend on defense every year? And apparently, in the year 2024, it spent 997 billion.
Billion with a B.
With a B, and then I asked how much does it spend on social services, welfare, and so on. It spent 1 trillion, approximately. 1 trillion.
907 million is 1 trillion also, so it's spending equally as much.
Yeah,
they kind of play some figures with you got me this calculating on my brain.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much even, 50-50. Yeah.
It better to give it as a percentage of the budget, man.
Let me see, what does it say?
Yeah, look at the percentage better.
Our budget is like $4 trillion.
Yeah. It says the 1 trillion represents 16% of all federal outlays.
Yeah.
16%.
16%.
But America spends that money just to remain the top dog in the fight.
No, that's not. That's the one for social services, welfare programs.
Yeah, but you're comparing it to what they spend for war and defense.
Yeah, I just wanted. I thought that they spent more money than 900 billion. I thought it would be a lot more than what they spend on welfare programs.
There's a lot more money spent in the U.S. military that's not disclosed. So whenever we get that figure, we need to just take it with a grain of salt. That's the amount that's appropriated by
given us.
Yeah, but we do know that they do spend far more. On defense.
So I think they're spending more on military development than they are on social service. That 1.1 trillion that you
indicated. And of course, of all the donations they give worldwide for military and so on. No?
Yeah.
So,
You know what I found funny is that Donald Trump ran on a peace plan, and no war. He was against war. But he has even changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Yeah. And what's the logic behind that? I mean, what is he saying?
I didn't know that got changed. That got changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, he changed it to Department of War.
Oh.
That's an interesting development there.
He said what they are doing, they are preparing themselves for war. He said that's no use of saying defense of war. So he changed it to Defense of Department of War.
And it went easy. Like people
Yeah.
You know, just accepted it.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Google it and check it when you get a chance. But it's incredible the direction that he has been taking that country. It's sad because
He just Donald Trump just reinstated it was called the Department of War before World War II.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
before it was.
all
Yeah.
right,
It's not,
and
it
then
was Department of War before.
so I might as well go back to that before World War III. You know,
You have to remember, Trump represents making America great again, so he's going backwards to the old days. You see.
And is that slavery coming back next? Because that's when it was
Well,
great.
I don't mind being a slave if you buy me food and take care of me and so
Oh,
on.
bullshit.
All right.
Had a joke. Had a joke.
I know. But
I mean, like the
I-
one with the election for the mayor of New York.
Yeah, he's going to meet with him tomorrow. He's going to meet with him
Oh,
tomorrow.
they're gonna meet tomorrow. That's interesting.
Yeah, at the White House, yeah.
at the White House.
Yeah, they will meet.
Yes.
Yeah, meet with the president.
Oh,
But there
that's
was a lot
good.
of them wearing the MAGA cap, the red cap, and it said
Uh-huh.
MAGA for Mondani.
Did you guys see the former mayor of New York in Israel telling the Israelis that he has served them well as mayor and that he wants to, they just have to know that he's going to remain their brother. And he looks so silly with a little white hat by head, like a little black samba, no?
Was it Cuomo you're talking about? Cuomo?
Now, wait a minute, Greg. You remember the
Abrams? I can't remember his name.
Abrams? Yeah, Abrams. Son, I don't remember.
His name. I don't remember his name.
But he'll be forgotten very soon indeed. His memory won't hang around too long. But I thought that was totally ridiculous to go there and basically just pledge your subservience to these people, no? Because that situation continues out of control. And I think that's something where we have to look at. I would hope that the situation in Palestine does not go back to status quo, to where it was with the state of apartheid and these people under pressure forever and ever, locked away in an open air prison and just being fed. And I see it as totally inhumane, not acceptable, and I hope that the world will not just back up just because they say, all right, man, stop killing everybody now, and then go back to that ignoble state. A terrible situation, man, terrible. And I don't know, but it's good to hear that. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I have been reading about the two-state thing and the peace, but I get the impression that this peace might not last. I think Israel has some ulterior motive, and especially if Netanyahu remains. I don't think this is a lasting peace. I think Netanyahu still has the eyes on those areas there to join them to Israel.
I can't see him not remaining because he's why the pressure that's coming down is tremendous. Then they might acknowledge it. I don't think that it should be a two-state again. I think there should be a one-state, the already existing state of Palestine, and not to go in and do to the Israelis that they have done to the Palestinian people and try to kill out everybody and get rid of them. Because this has been tried before with Hitler for one, and Jews are the most persecuted ever people in the world.
I thought it was black people.
Why not? The Jews were expelled from over 100 countries along the way, and a couple of times from France, and a couple of times from England. But they have been black people were persecuted for a long period of time, and viciously so. But if you're talking about the most persecuted, I say you'd have to say the Jews are.
But did you remember why it was so?
Why
it was so that they were expelled from so many countries?
There are different reasons given, and one is that they were troublesome. The next, that they were always trying to stifle the economy
They're
by sucking
successful.
all the blood out of it.
They're successful. That
Well,
generates a lot of jealousy.
what do you call successful?
I
Jeremy?
think the Jewish people are one of the most successful people in the
As
world.
far
They're
as making
hardworking.
money.
They got a culture, a very strict culture that they practice. They marry within their groups.
That not successful.
I don't know. Look who controls the banks. Who control? You were saying that the other day. Look
Yeah,
what
I
they
know,
control.
and
They
you
control the
can
movie
say,
industry in America. They control the finances, everything. They're
and you,
incredible people.
but
They are,
just having money is success
huh?
in your view.
In my view, they're incredible people. Yeah.
None. So do you believe they're the chosen people of God?
I don't believe in that because I don't believe that. I don't believe the Bible, so I don't believe in that.
I would say this, gentlemen, that for whatever reason they did what they did to them. I don't know if it is that, but there are people who indeed are very ingenious people. You cannot take that away from them.
Well, look at the weapons of wars that they have developed. Yeah.
They are very smart people. They are no doubt. It's maybe it's the
Okay.
prosecution that brought them together.
Yeah.
But they are very ingenious people. You can't
Are they compassionate?
Well, according to, if you read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, they believe it was while Hitler was young. His father was at the border in Austria as a custom officer, and he used to hang around. As a young boy, he saw where the Jews were exploiting the young Austrians, 13, 14 years old, for prostitution. And it is believed that was what sowed the seed of the hatred. No, that is not established historically, but it's a fact that the Jews were doing that. The Jews was in fact taking young girls and use them for prostitution.
Well, we're getting back to Epstein now, aren't we? Because this is basically what they, and in fact,
Maybe Epstein one Jew, maybe the
when you say Stein after a name, and usually an indication, no? So
that name sound like Jew.
Yeah, and in fact they have connected
German Jews, Stein.
They have connected them to in fact Epstein himself to the Mossad and to people with the Israelis and persecution ring and whatnot. They're apart from being successful Germany in making a lot of money, they have also established themselves as some ruthless people who not have much compassion for anybody. They will, if you get away with their money, they will kill you. What weapon did they develop? None American developed.
I don't think it's only the Jewish people that will kill you for money. I think we've seen that throughout the entire Western world. That's their premise, and the rest of the world suffer from that legacy. And even today, it is the reality. We see it in Africa, where we talk about capitalism and the exploitation and all the different wars that's being caused over there, and we then complain about the African people not able to live in peace and stuff. But it's all triggered and it's all set up by capitalist motives and Western countries.
Colonialism.
Yeah, neocolonialism and capitalism that drives those type of forces. So I don't think it's just on the Jewish people that the money issue. I think it's in the entire driven by Western ideology.
Boy, but when it comes down to money and the Jews are in parallel. I mean, when it comes to the love and Karl Marx and Joe, a man who loves to follow philosophers, and he was a Jewish philosopher, and he wrote a thing, and you could look this one up on Jeremy, that says, money is Israel's jealous God, before which no other God can stand. This was a Jew saying that. In fact, there are a number of Jews who have been coming out, even against what is happening now in Palestine, and giving their own ideas of what they think could be and should and shouldn't be. So I'm very interesting scenario, and I want to know if it will be allowed to last and stand, or are we gonna, as a society, stand up and say, this is not doing us any good. This is not good for us as mankind at all.
I think in time of history, as we look back, we will see the crimes that was committed in this most recent war. Whether anyone will be held accountable in this present time for it, I think it's going to be difficult because of the powers of the West that supports the policies and support what's going on, because we have to always remember that the role of Israel in the Middle East is as a proxy for the United States.
Yeah.
Your friend Sam Dredge said America developed the weapons. Ask him who developed the atomic bomb.
And there's another
Germany, Robert Oppenheimer, a Jewish person.
Germany developed it, and America definitely perfected it.
Oppenheimer.
And used it.
The Manhattan Project.
Spooner got another name, Phil. Tell her the name who
Robert Oppenheimer.
How about Einstein? Wasn't he in there somewhere
Einstein
too?
was Jewish also.
Yeah.
The Rosenbergs who didn't believe that America could have the atomic bomb sold the secrets, remember?
No, it was because of Einstein splitting the atoms.
Yeah, Einstein was the start of it, yeah.
He was it. And when they dropped the bomb, and when they had dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, not when they placed him in Japan, I mean, when they dropped the first
Hiroshima.
Yeah.
He said that he's sorry the day may ever do it.
Yeah, he did. He was
Yeah.
he was remorseful
if
for
he
that.
didn't, someone else would have. There were lots of close competition at that point.
But I don't know that a man like Einstein is set out for the devastating tool of war that it turned out to be.
They took it from there. He was a stepping stone.
Because the atomic energy can do a lot of good, you know.
Of course it can, yeah.
And it does.
It was a stepping stone, but you know how war is. They take things and make it into something disastrous.
Correct. If they're gonna pat them and stone you with that. So
yeah.
You believe when they developed?
There was the if I'm not mistaken, the Rosenbergs. They were sentenced to death. They were Jewish. I think they were Jewish communists in America, and they didn't like the idea of America having a nuclear weapon. And I think they gave the secrets to the Soviet Union. I may have to look that up, but I remember that. Is that not true?
What's that, Jeremy? I missed it.
The Rosenbergs that were tried for spying and giving away the atomic secrets to the Soviet Union. Remember?
Well, he thought it would
they
create
felt they didn't
balance.
like that America had all this power.
Yes,
He
he thought it would create a balance between nations and would not have America act unilaterally.
Yeah, they had committed treason. They had tried him they convicted him for treason.
I think they were executed too.
But they did it with a good intention, you say, Greg.
They did it with a good intention, so that America would not be the only person in the world that would have this atomic bomb. Yeah.
Well, it turned out that Israel got some too.
India
stole it from America.
Yeah, the small young nation. In fact, word is that they want Kennedy tried to stop them from having it, and there's some conspiracy theory circling around that.
I don't know where I get the beliefs from. I always thought that Spooners was Jew.
You thought I was Jewish?
The way they talk now, the way you
look
talk
at my
tonight.
nose, right? I got a big nose. Why don't you check my British nose, my Anglo-Saxon nose?
I think that the name Spooners was Jew.
You know what? A lot of people, when they hear that my mother escaped from Poland, they think that I'm Jewish. Yeah.
Okay.
Jewish,
So why she escape if you never have?
My mother was very lucky. My grandfather was a Polish diplomat in Portugal when the Germans invaded Poland. So, and they were studying in France as a convent, and so they were able to get out under that premise, but they were interrogated by the Gestapo because my mother looked big for her age, and they didn't believe that she was a student. But the nuns who were traveling with her spoke up for her, and they released her.
But why would they have wanted to persecute her? Was she? Was she?
Well, they maybe suspected that she was a spy, maybe she was an activist, I don't know, but they didn't believe her when she said how old she was and she was going back to France to go study.
But she wasn't a Jew.
No, she wasn't a Jew. Polish, yeah.
All right,
But a
interesting.
lot of people, when they hear that my mother escaped from Poland, they assume right away that they were Jewish. No, they weren't. You have to remember, Poland was very anti-Semitic too, very Catholic nation. So you had that problem there.
Okay. But again, with the differences that we have and are expounded by our different again, and the hand raise you again.
Yeah.
And not Greg, because when you might mute it.
I want to say something very quickly. We have to congratulate Haiti. Haiti made it to the World Cup. FIFA next year, a country that's been devastated by crime, by violence, by earthquakes, by poverty, and so on, actually put a team together and has made it to the World Cup final in the FIFA. And Belize can't even make it. And Haiti has gone there twice.
Well, yeah, and Haiti is also condemned by capitalists and neo-colonialists and European and North American ganging up against them.
Poverty stricken, yes, and they made it to FIFA. They made it to the World Cup final.
Well, Miss
Curacao, a population of 150,000 people made it.
Miss Palestine.
No, Haiti has like 6 million people or 9
No, somebody else.
Curacao made it too.
Yeah.
And they have a population of 150,000.
Miss Palestine made it to Miss Universe, which again is notable of mention.
Yes.
And did you guys see the fall that Miss Jamaica took off of the stage?
Yes.
No.
And this,
I thought it's tonight or on the 21st that they're having the pageant.
no, it's
Right,
the
it's Miss
21st,
Universe.
but tonight they have some things going on. Yeah.
It's on right now. Miss Universe is on right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but not the final. That's tomorrow, I believe.
yeah, the
Okay.
final is the 21st, I believe.
And Belize still in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got a good chance. We've got a good-looking young lady there, very educated, very pleasant, got a fantastic personality, very positive, beautiful smile, and so on. I think the world is, we're small,
And I said
You
you
would
could
be
dance Punta too.
Well, I was
Maybe-
betting on her to win Miss Universe, so it will become.
Maybe what I'm hearing in the background of Miss Universe being watched. Gentlemen, it's 9 o'clock.
Yes.
I want to say happy birthday to David Dacus, legend in boxing. He celebrates his
remember
birthday
him,
on Sunday. I think we're doing a little thing in the park for him, and then, and of course, big respect to our Miss Universe indeed. I hope we make a mark this time, and at least come up into the top, if not all the way to the top. I hope she wins.
Miss Mexico is favorite.
Okay. But there are some beautiful ladies in that contest, boy. I'll tell you that.
But I tell you, they don't put anything past the current Miss Belize.
Yeah, she's in the
Up
mix.
there.
She's up there with
She's
them.
up there with them. She's up there with them.
Anything else, guys? Joe, you all right?
Oh, that's it. I think it was a good
Punta
night, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, Greg. You could dance punta.
I know. I saw her. I was like, okay, go on.
Guys,
You might know over dance punta.
Boy, I'm not going to go there. No, try to put me in an corner here. Let me say thanks to all our listeners. Quite a number of people were involved tonight and had something to say. We enjoy your input. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place. See why we're done here.
All right, good night, gentlemen. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Hard body, gal, you must have to take me to my funeral. Look how long your number it a call. You set up a wall. Gal, you must have to take me to my funeral. Look how long your number me a call. Me standing tall. Gal says X has all outdoors. 9 and 10, baby, gonna add up the scores. Me the hard laborer, so just give me chore. No the man from Jalan could I love her anymore. Me show me line, charisma and charm that me lure. Sheriff cross the ocean, me have to the swim to the shore. Ring no bell, stomp down the door. Loving until the end of time and then some more. But it's driving me crazy, sexy physique, it no stop hypnotize me. When me smoke me boot on, me the start feel Irish. She the only one could ever satisfy me. If a man like Richard would have just get a bite, immediately right away would have gained sight. Raw hype and snare jump so she skin tight. Doing no love a million man, me would have fight. Hard body, girl, you must have to take me to my funeral. Look how long your number it a call. You set up a wall.